I woke up this morning, realized there's Thursday night football. The Eagles play football tonight. And the NFC East division is on the line tonight as the Eagles take on their rival Commanders down in South Philly at the Link for Thursday Night Football. Guys, I'm excited. We're going to talk all about it. Preview, prediction show, maybe some special guests. Guys, sit back, get involved. Let's go.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We're live on YouTube and Twitter. You know the drill. Whichever platform you're watching on, hit that like button, that share or repost button, that subscribe or follow button. Dude, guys, get in the action. Tell one, tell all to get involved as we preview tonight's Eagles, Commanders, massive Thursday night football game with the NFC East division on the line, guys. Get in, get it out, do what you got to do, guys. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. You can find me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge. And, guys, like I just said, it is a big-ass night for the Philadelphia Eagles and Eagles Nation across the country. We got a half-game lead. We're going into Thursday night football against our division rivals who are a half game behind us, and so much is on the line tonight. I know it's only week 11. There's still football to be played, but it is a must-win game for the Eagles when you take everything into account. The rest of the season schedule, the Commanders' schedule, who we've beaten already to gain that respect. There's so much on the line tonight. We're going to talk all about it today, guys. So let's get this thing going. Let's get right into the comments. Let's go, Birds, Adam. I know you're going to be down there shouting your head off. Second, go to Hell Core 12. I'm your biggest. I see. We're having fun right off the bat. Why isn't no an option? Because I said so. Got it. This is the game to end all games. It's the game to end all games today, this week, this year, right now. I don't think Eagles fans realize how important tonight's game is for the makeup of the rest of the season. When you look at the Eagles having Baltimore, another Washington game, the Rams, the Steelers, all on the horizon. When you look at Washington's schedule, they've played all those tough games already. It is literally so important right now. And for legitimacy as well. It's a tough word to say early in the morning. Legitimacy. Man, that's almost as bad as Aqua Bowman there. There is something to what the Mad Chatter says. The Eagles, in our minds, are playing great football, but in a lot of people's minds, they've beaten some bad teams. This is the first real test the Eagles have faced in quite a bit of time. This is the first real offense. The number 4 ranked yards per game offense, the number 4 scoring offense in the NFL in your house when you only got a half a game lead in the division. This is a legitimacy game as much as division implications, playoff implications. Good morning, Duck. How are you doing this morning? The make or break game. Absolutely agree. Or as Eagles go over the cliff. Well, if we lose, the fans will go over the cliff. I'll be here to calm you down. I think you guys win, but I think this is going to be a sloppy, ugly NFL match. These two hate each other, and Commanders fans will travel for this game, especially fans since their team is doing great. There's a lot to get into in one comment there. I do think we're going to win. We'll get into the final score prediction later in the show. But I think this is sloppy, ugly. I don't know if it's going to be a sloppy, ugly game or not. It might rain a little bit tonight, so that might play into that. They do hate each other. Commanders fans might travel, but Eagles fans don't sell their tickets. Eagles fans might travel and pay enormous amount of money for their tickets, but Eagles fans don't sell their tickets. So I don't know how how loud with Washington fans it'll really be tonight down there. This is the first real challenge to the defense since the defense has been playing well. For sure, this is the first real challenge that the Eagles defense has faced. You got Terry McLaurin. He doesn't have to go up against Darius Slay like normally. He gets Quinion Mitchell. You've got this rushing defense of the Eagles, which is 5th in the NFL in rushing yards per game given up, going up against the 4th best rush. So you got the 4th best rush offense of Washington against the 5th best rush defense. You got the 4th best points per game against the 5th best points per game defense. With the 4th best yards per game going up against the 2nd best overall yards per game defense. What gives? What's for real? What's for not? We're going to learn a lot about the trueness and identity of this football team tonight on Thursday Night Football because of the defense. We know what the offense is. We know they're elite. We know they can score at will. Well, after the first quarter, although they've gotten some first quarter points lately. But the defense is where we're still not sure of who this team is. And it's all going to be figured out tonight. Good morning, freak. Stop. Don't go there yet. There hasn't been many good or great Thursday Night Football. Look, Thursday Night Football is normally crap. Mainly because Thursday night is too quick to turn around. Eagles played 4 o'clock on Sunday, and Dallas had to fly home. Washington played on Sunday, a hard knockdown game. Got to travel now to Philly. Not a long flight or trip, but it is what it is. It's terrible, Thursday Night Football. I hate Thursday Night Football. Normally, this is probably one of the best on paper before the game Thursday Night Football games that they've had in ages, in a long time. The NFL, I know the Baltimore, when I said the NFL lucked into the greatest Thursday Night Football game, and everyone's like, oh, last week Baltimore-Cincinnati, or whenever I said this, was such a great game. I'm like, it turned into a great game. When was the last time Thursday Night Football had a game this late in the season where there were division implications, where you had 2 top-tier division rivals going head-to-head? The NFL lucked into an amazing game tonight on the schedule. And hopefully the teams perform up to the expectations. I'm okay with a close game tonight. I want both teams to knock it down and drag it out and fight till the bitter end. The Eagles come away with the victory in the end. That's what I want. I don't think you guys cover. Give me the Commanders to cover. The line did go up. It went from 3.5. Now it's to 4. I got a close game as well. 4 points doesn't sound like a lot to cover, but in a division matchup with first place on the line, Thursday Night Football, 4 points is a lot to cover. So I wouldn't bet the game, but if I did, I would definitely be taking the Eagles plus, or the Commanders plus 4. The snack have been set out with care, brother, in hopes that St. Nicholas Sirianni will be there. You guys are arguably the only team stopping them from winning the division. They're going to play you guys hard and ugly. Yeah, and look, they got Dallas next week, but we got Baltimore next, or the Rams next week. We're entering the tough part of our schedule. They're entering the soft spot of their schedule. Do they have a letdown? Maybe. Washington did play a knockdown, drag-out battle last week, Trinidad, against the Steelers. We had a cakewalk, so that plays into our favor a little bit as well. Finally, a good Thursday night game. Yes, the Sixers. Who cares about the Sixers? I knew somebody would talk about the Sixers today, but if you care about talking about the Sixers before or over Eagles Commanders Thursday Night Football tonight, you got some screws loose in your brain there, mister. 4 points in 7.5 in a division matchup. This line should be -3. The line's been driven up, Trinidad. It's been driven up. I think some of it is the Steelers game last week. I think some of it is just the simple fact that the Eagles defense has been so good lately. Surprised I didn't answer you guys. Look, whatever. I half had the Sixers game on last night. Halfway. Had it on last night once I got home and got all settled in. Who cares? Jared McCain's the only bright spot. Why anybody would want to talk Sixers when we got this game in front of us is beyond me. Zach Bond won Defensive Player of the Week this past week for the first time. I'm going to be extremely curious how Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, and this defense play and handle Jaden Daniels tonight. Will there be a quote unquote spy? Will there be, a certain style of defense? I mean, look, they're the fourth best rush defense offense, but 11th pass. They can still throw the ball. Will Vic Fangio just keep going with what's been working, the same style, or will there be tweaks to this defense tonight? Will there be that spy? What will the defense look like against the young Jaden Daniels? And Ron Jaworski was on ESPN or the radio or something and saying that Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback he has ever seen. Now, Ron Jaworski might be getting a little old, a little long in the tooth. He also thought, who did he say? Eagles third string quarterback in 2020. He told me on my podcast that was the best deep ball thrower of the football he'd ever seen. So I don't know what Ron Jaworski's quarterback evaluation talent is like these days, but he does say that Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback he's ever seen. How are we going to stop him? You have to worry about Terry McLaurin, but Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean can lock him down. Zach Ertz is a weapon to an extent, going to be an honorary captain tonight for this game, so he'll be at midfield, which will be very awkward for Eagles. But it's not much to stop their passing game with our passing defense. It comes down to the rushing game. And how do we stop them? Can we stop them? Brian Robinson will be back tonight for them in running back. You got Austin Eckler getting into a groove. You got to worry about stopping Daniel. You got to stop the run game. It's really what it comes down to. And how will Vic Fangio deploy a defensive system and scheme to shut them down? I would lay the 4 points. We are peaking, yo. Are we peaking? I think that's a great way to. We are. You saying we are peaking? I think it's a fantastic question. Are the Eagles peaking, or is it a? And I don't agree with it, but there are people out there, K1, that will say the Eagles are just a product of their schedule. That they played easy games and they've won their easy games, which you can't blame them for winning the easy games that they're supposed to. But this is the first real test that we faced in a while. This is going to sound like a dumb angle, but I also don't like laying 4 while you guys are on a 5-game win streak. 5-game win streak. Yes, it is a 5-game. It's about time the Eagles start to show costly mistakes. It's not necessarily necessary. 4 points in Vegas. Is Vegas buying the hope, but knowing commies are up and comers? Maybe. You guys don't have the refs on your side like the Chiefs. Nobody does. Man, whoever told me that an itchy nose means I'm going to come into money. I didn't come into money the other day, and I got the itchy nose again. So maybe today I'll come into money. Trinidad said, or duck to Trinidad, and we don't have Cowgirls money to pay them off. No. Fangio going to confuse Daniels with a lot of different looks. So, yeah, I think this is very interesting. It's something, Rick, that I'm really intrigued to see how Vic Fangio deploys these different looks to confuse a young rookie quarterback who hasn't really faced much adversity this year. He hasn't really had any interceptions. He's played mistake-free football for the most part. Got a little banged up earlier in the season. I think it's really going to be interesting to see what he does, Fangio. But also, there's a lot of Jaden Daniels hype. This is going to be the first time we get to watch him, for an extended period of time this year. This is the first time we get to see what kind of quarterback we're going to be facing for the next 5-10 years in the NFC East. Daniels plays with disregard to his health, a la RG3, for sure. I mean, he is just a running back pretending to be a quarterback, right? Isn't that what they say Jalen Hurts is? Why aren't we saying that about Jaden Daniels? I mean, Jaden Daniels has got, I think he leads the team in rushing. I'm pulling up their stats right now. I'm pretty sure he's their number one rusher. Yeah. He's got 464 rushing yards, Jaden Daniels, on the season with 4 touchdowns. It's not as many as Jalen Hurts, but he literally leads their team in rushing. Containing the run game is going to be utmost appointment. Yeah, absolutely. But we've got the second best rush, or the 5th best rush defense going up against the 4th best rush offense. It's going to be a battle, Rick, on that line. That the interior offense and defensive lines for the Eagles and Commanders, the battles in the trenches on both sides of the football tonight is going to be where the game is won and lost. You got Jordan Mailata coming back tonight. He's been activated. He'll be out there starting. We'll have our full complement of guys back out there, which is fantastic. Got to win the line of scrimmage battle, both sides of the ball tonight. It is imperative that you do that. Dr. Rick says, Kenny, though, with the short week, how much can you instill specifically for the short week is a problem, Duck, but also these teams know these short weeks, and this is not new. They have game plans, like coaching game plans in place where the assistant coaches were already laying out and watching the tape and setting it up. Yeah, they might not be able to make major changes, but they'll have an idea. And the Commanders are on the short week as well. So I think the NFL and coaches in general have a scheduling game plan on how to attack these Thursday night games. They were probably already working on it last week before Dallas to an extent. Just called Daniels GOAT. Well, no, not yet. I'm not your boy toy. What? How am I crazy when you're the boss of a violent mafia crime family? I'm the boss of a violent crime crime family? How am I the boss? I mean, I would be the boss, but no. It's not itchy nose. It's itchy toes. Duck, yes, he can. Fangio is a defensive mastermind, a lot like Jim Johnson. Man, we're not asking to fire these guys anymore. We're in love with these guys now. We all know 3 points is a home team respect, but knowing it's a losing team, 4 points is against good competition. 5+ confidence the team will win. Yeah, I think it's trying to trick one side or the other into betting the line is what the 4 points is. Trying to goad us into that line. It's not as though we haven't known the commies were on the schedule all along. Exactly. These 4-day weeks, these quick turnarounds, they have a system in place. Oh, man, I just lost my poster napkin here. Don't want to dirty up the table here. I think Howie Roseman already spoke about it and about how much he loves the short week and how much bonding time for the coaches go in a short 4-day week like this. Washington is on the same short week that we are, and they're not sleeping in their own bed. Well, they might actually just bus up here today or take a train up here today. So they might not even be on the road, so to speak. I don't know what Washington's schedule is, but I would expect them, if it's a night game, to just sleep in their own beds, wake up in Washington, take a train up here today, and then probably just train right back home tonight after the game. So, they might not be overly exhausted like other travel teams. Brian Robinson is back tonight. He has been listed as active as of yesterday after practice for the game. So that's another weapon. That's why, again, the run game is going to be critical. Stopping it and the Eagles running the ball. Washington's defense is the 28th ranked rushing defense in the NFL. Almost 150 rushing yards a game. Their last 2 losses, the Ravens and the Steelers, they lost to Washington the time of possession battle 36-23. The Ravens ran 37 times. The Steelers last week ran 43 times against this team. That is how you beat the Washington Commanders. You run all over them. That's how you do it. And you keep them off the field. He was practicing on Wednesday. That's what I said. Eagles got to rest some starters at the end of their recent game. I think that I've been talking about this since Monday morning, that the Eagles had a stress-free, old-school NBA load management type game, whereas Washington was in a knockdown, drag-out battle to the last second. It's like those, in baseball terms, like those intense innings that put a lot of stress on your pitcher's arm versus just mop-up duty at the end of a game. They had the stress put on their bodies for 60 minutes. We did not last week. There is another major aspect of the game that I love. I've always been a supporter of Vic Fangio. Oh, I know you. I'm just kidding. I saw somebody else joking. We ain't calling for anybody's heads right now. We're not going to pretend that the Cowboys last year's were banged up, missing their star quarterback. You guys are not going up against the same thing. You're going against. We know that we're going up against a good team. I think every single Eagles fan knows that this is a big, big test for them tonight on Thursday Night Football. I don't think there's a single Eagles fan that is 1,000% confident that they just march into the stadium tonight and just dominate. Everybody knows we're in for a knockdown, drag-out battle tonight. That could go either way. Stand in the pocket, calm, okay? You arguably hate you more than Cowboys. They're finally winning for once and would love to pounce on you. Yeah. Greg Cassell said that they came to Philly on Wednesday. Okay. All right. I did not know that. I was just randomly spitfiring. I was just thinking in my mind, would it be smart to come up on Wednesday, or would it be smart to just take the train up Thursday afternoon before the game? I mean, I would think that. Calm. Like, I'm calm like a seasoned veteran too, and I get it done. Um, I'm feeling actually confident about this game. Big Al, I think this is a great question. Am I weird? Because yes, you are weird. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding, but I am kidding. Something like that. Anyway, I am strangely confident that the Eagles win this game as well. Okay? I am like I won't bet the game. Well, I'll bet parlays and stuff like that, but I won't bet the money line. I won't bet the betting line because I never do that with the Eagles. But if I was, I'd be confident in laying money, but it would be on the money line because I know the Washington Commanders are a good team. I just think the Eagles are humming on all cylinders right now. I think the Eagles are playing at a level that their confidence is just sky high. It's going to take something drastic to kill the confidence. I kind of even feel like say Washington comes out and jumps out to a 14-0 lead tonight, which I hope not. But just say they do. I've got this unusual confidence that I believe that they'll be able to come back and that they will believe that they can come back. I truly believe it. Brian Robinson been stirring up a lot of drama against his team and coaching staff recently, has he? Did not know that. Fred Johnson still starting left tackle. Mailata is officially back, baby. He's back. The sumo guy is back. Love to see it. Look, Fred Johnson filled in admirably, but you know what? He's no Jordan Mailata. I know what you meant. But you are weird, just to remind you. I'm concerned about Daniel's injury and Marcus Mariota coming on. Dude, wouldn't that be something came on? What would be the story in Philly tomorrow? Jaden Daniels goes down the second quarter, out for the game. We're up 14-0, and Marcus Mariota leads some miraculous comeback at the link. Stories that legends and Hallmark movies are made of would be what it is. It's good for the Eagles to be tested. That's how we get better. It's going to be a fist fight in the phone booth. I like that. The fist fight in the phone booth. It's the Captain America fight in the elevator scene. It's good. It's good to get that experience. We'll learn a lot about our team tonight. How for real they are or not. Something tells me the Commanders uses their wide receivers today. Let them use their wide receivers today. We got Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell. Is it Quinion Mitchell or Quinion? I was watching something this morning, some reporter, some clip from a TV show, and the media member called him Quinion. I've always been saying Quinion Mitchell. Maybe I'm pronouncing that one wrong. I'm not worried about scary Terry McLaurin tonight with cue ball back there. I'm not worried about Zach Ertz with Cooper DeJean and our linebackers covering. I'm only worried about Brian Robinson and Jaden Daniels. That is it. How is there not a rule against being as bad as the Giants? Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's just something you just don't do. It's just not smart. Marshawn Lattimore is still a DMP. Yes, that is correct. Correct, mister, which is good for the Eagles. Hurts is almost the total package. Dan, stop. You can't say that about him. You can't tell me Daniel Jones is the total package. And look at Daniel Jones is an insult. So is he the total package or is he an insult? Which one is he? Duck, you can't bet the line with teams that you have emotional connection with. Brains get short. So absolutely agree. It's the dumbest thing you could do is to bet a team you're emotionally invested in. Mariota couldn't even complete 3 passes in a row in Philly, and you'll probably get banged up by him. Dude, it would be a Hallmark Christmas miracle story. Marcus Mariota comes in and blows us out tonight. Dude, don't even put that fear of God in my head. Don't you dare get my name wrong. What? What's your name? Mitchkowski. I was trying to send Mitch a DM the other day. I'm like, Mitch, did you lose your Twitter account? See, I couldn't find it. I was spelling it with a V instead of an F. I'm an idiot. I have PTSD taking minus 200 favorites. They almost never cash for me, and the underdog usually wins. It's my same rule with minus 4.5 favorites, a cursed number, and the Eagles are minus 200. Yeah, you just don't do it. That's exactly right, Mitchy Poo. I have to do it as a gambler and take my plus take the plus 170 Commanders. Well, thanks for donkeying money off and helping them, pad their bottom line a little bit, because that's what you're doing. You're padding the sports book's bottom line by betting that. You just don't bet the Eagles. Jaden Daniels, total package. Yeah, is that what it is? Is he Lex Luger, wannabe or something like that? Yeah, exactly, Mitchie Poo. If I get all excited and the starting quarterback goes down, then Phil makes the list. Okay, I don't know why. Media pushing the narrative about Commanders. Eagles don't sweat the crap. This game will show who's the freaking boss of the NFC East. Look, I appreciate the confidence, Jose. I do. And the NFC East beast or boss is on the line tonight. But I'm not blind to the fact that Washington is a very good football team. I don't know if they're there yet, but I know they're very good. This is not like we're facing the Jags or the Giants. This is a good football team we're facing here. There is a blueprint to beat them. Hopefully, in a short week, they figured that blueprint out. Time of possession, running the football. Don't give up a Hail Mary at the end of a game. But to think that the Eagles are just guaranteed to win this game or anything like that, short-sighted. It's going to be a knockdown. This game could go 27-24 Eagles, 24-21 Commanders. It could go either way. This is a 3.4-point game max either way. It's going to be someone's going to have the football with 2 minutes left in the game to win or lose the game. Whose offense or defense makes the last play of the game will be the determining factor of this game. That's what the sportsbooks want you to think. Yeah, true. It's Triple M, Money Making Mitch. Quinion has earned his nickname. That's right. Quinion, Cuba. Quinion, Money Mitchell. I love it. And Darius Slay has always been the one that's gone up against Terry McLaurin. And if my memory serves me right, Terry McLaurin's kind of one of the few guys that's always had Darius Slay's number. So I'll be curious to see if Darius Slay passes the Terry McLaurin responsibilities off to Quinion Mitchell. Quinion Mitchell has stepped up every week against elite wide receivers. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, all of them. Same with Cooper DeJean. I'm pleasantly confident that we'll be able to shut down their lone talented wide receiver. Speaking of wide receivers, here's one for you guys. I haven't made any parlays for you yet tonight. I'll sit down sometime around 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, and I'll do that. Jahan Dotson has made one big catch each of the last 2 games. Going up against his former team, there have been reports that Jahan Dotson might have had some issues in the locker room there in Washington. The team that drafted him got rid of him already. This might be the night that Jahan Dotson gets more than one catch. This might be the night that Jahan Dotson gets his first touchdown for the Eagles. I haven't looked at the odds. I haven't looked at the betting number on it yet. But Jahan Dotson anytime touchdown might be the bet of the night right there. Johnny Wilson got his first touchdown last week. Maybe Jahan Dotson scores tonight. Just something to think about as you're thinking about betting later on in the day. Just think about that. Pretty good at picking when Philly teams are going to win and lose. I'm taking the Commanders. Well, look, I know you're not an Eagles fan, so you might be slightly biased there. It's fine. But I would not be in utter shock and dismay if we lose 27-24 tonight because Washington got the ball last and they scored a touchdown. I wouldn't be shocked because Washington is a great football team. I just hope and think that we're just a little bit better. Just getting Maddox off the field has improved the defensive measure. K1, you ain't wrong about that. You are not wrong about that at all. It's great not to see him out there most of the time now. Again, without a doubt. Let's cut the crap. You beat Washington. You're legit number 2 behind the Lions. Yeah. But we still have a tough schedule. I mean, Washington's schedule over the rest of we've got the Rams, the Steelers, the Ravens, Washington again. They've got us. After us, they got Dallas, Tennessee, New Orleans, us, Atlanta, and Dallas. So they got 2 Dallas games, a Tennessee game, and a New Orleans game. They are locked into at minimum of 4 more wins. They're going to get to 11 wins, maybe 12. We're at 7 wins. That's why our game tonight, then we got the 2 easy games, Cowboys and Giants to end the season. That puts us at 9, which means we've got to win some of these tough games. Why tonight is such an important game when you look at the schedule of both teams. What? St. Giusti? What's that say? Always seems to be able to contain our wide receivers. That I'm not sure there. The Flyers play the Ottawa. What? Who? Sorry. Not worried about the Flyers tonight. We're not thinking about the Flyers. We're not thinking about the Sixers. My only 3 M money making Mitch is here in our chat. Yep. He is. Okay. So we're talking about a cornerback there, and some of these refs let that go. Later on that day, my homie Phil Stiefel came over with what? What are we even talking about there? Don't even get that one there. I hate both the Eagles and the Commanders. You're both trash in the bottom of the dumpster in any franchise across the board. What? What? What kind of comment even is that? Like, is there anything productive in this statement whatsoever? And I've hated the Eagles since Andy Reid was the coach. Well, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Well, Giants and Cowboys are like bye weeks. They are. Phil, I did totally blow something there. Yeah, I don't. Well, anyway, totally lost now. I must be missing something there on that. Let me pull up their roster here real quick and try to figure out who we're talking about here because I'm not sure. It's there, Benjamin Saint. Yeah, I see him here. He's got 47 tackles. He's got 7 pass defenses. He's got 1 forced fumble, no interceptions on the season. Who's excited for the Jake Paul? That's something we'll talk about. Isn't it on Saturday night? It's not tomorrow night. It's Saturday night, Mitch, right? Isn't it Saturday night? Or am I wrong? Because I've been planning my whole entire week around being home to watch it Saturday night. I really thought it was Saturday night. I'll have to double check that. But anyway, I'm not excited for it. But let me tell you something. I'll be watching it. So excited is kind of like, but I'll be there. I'm watching it on my TV because I'm just curious. And for those that are boxing fans, right here on this STT Sports Network that you're watching trending in the AM, the #1 morning show in Philadelphia. Last night, Philly Press Box Radio. You guys love them. Chet and Bill Furman had a great guest on in the second half of their show. 2-time heavyweight boxing champion Tim Witherspoon from the Philadelphia area. And he talked about his career, sparring with Muhammad Ali, fighting Larry Holmes. He also talked about how he took a dive in a fight when he was having beefs with Don King over money. He was like a heavy favorite, and he took a dive in the match, in the boxing match. I think if you guys are even remotely interested in boxing or in fighting, you guys got to tune into last night's Press Box Radio right here on this YouTube channel because, my God, it was a hell of an interview with some crazy insight into what boxing was like, late 70s, early 80s. I grew up in a boxing. My dad was a big boxing fan. He would get boxing pay-per-views. I remember him paying for the Mike Tyson Buster Douglas fight, which he was so pissed off. I think he probably had money on it or something. But anyway, definitely check out that interview if you're even remotely a Mike Tyson fan or a boxing fan. It was fantastic last night. But I am slightly interested. The Eagles can't lose. The fans will riot, and the governor will have to deploy the National Guard. I don't know if we freak out if they lose. It depends on how they lose. It's from a new rap singer's song called Snoop Doggy. What? I don't even know what you're talking about. I do want to watch it. I'm curious. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what Mike Tyson looks like. Good Hope, the National Guard hit y'all with what? It was out. It was an amazing. Like I grew up in a boxing household. Like it was fun to watch boxing back in an era when boxing was good, not now when boxing is stupid. And he did talk about why boxing was not as good, but just hearing him talk about purposely laying down in a fight, we know that kind of shit happens in all sports, but we really know it happens in boxing. And him just blatantly talking about it and admitting it's shocking. Spinks versus Holmes was fixed. I've heard that by many people. Have either of them ever addressed it? I don't know. Because Tim Witherspoon, a 2-time heavyweight champion, openly addresses that he took a fall, which I think is crazy. You really, it's in the second half of the show. Starts about 30, 35 minutes into the show. It's a fantastic listen. It really is. The refs count it too fast for Douglas. Is that what it is? It is tomorrow. I'll probably be streaming the Sixers instead. I'll be watching that over the Sixers though. This is not a good fight for the sport of boxing. He is almost 60. It's an exhibition. It's not a boxing match. It's an exhibition. Is it Jake Paul? Is a YouTuber who's actually turned into a half decent. You know what? Jake Paul and Logan Paul. On a side note, Trinidad. For as much as we might want to criticize them, as much as we might want to crush them for being YouTubers and all, one got in the boxing ring, one got in the WWE ring, and they've put an intense amount of energy into training to becoming pretty damn good at sports that they weren't brought up playing regularly. So I give them all the credit in the world. They might be a-holes. They might be D-bags. But you know what? They don't half-ass anything. I give them utmost respect. Someone like Jake Paul getting in the ring with Mike Tyson, I don't care that he's almost 60. Dude, I give him credit. All the credit in the world. If Eagles lose, Phil's backwards country will lose power, probably. Jake Paul's a cruiserweight. Give him one close to his age. Yeah, I mean, he wants bigger fights, but people don't want to fight him, is what I understand, which is why the Eagles win by a tutty. The Eagles win by a tutty. We're going to get into score predictions in a little bit here. Jake Paul is fighting a 60-year-old man. Well, he's 58, not 60. 58's the new 55, Duck. It was good seeing Witherspoon again. My dad sold him a car, and he was a fan ever since he got him front row seats. That's awesome. So you listened to the interview as well. Actually, I remember seeing you commenting in it, too. I don't remember my dad ever talking about Witherspoon. I think that was probably before. He was champ in like the 83, 85 range. I would have been like 3 to 5 years old during that span. But my dad always did make us appreciate boxing growing up and always talk about how great it was in the past. One time, Jake Paul faced a good amateur boxer, not even a professional. He lost, and that was Tommy Fury. They are D-bags. Hey, they are D-bags and A-holes. But you know what? They put full effort into whatever they're doing. And I give them credit for it. I really, truly do. He's only ever fought retired MMA fighters and bad or washed boxers. Yeah, but it's a spectacle. It's not that people don't want to fight him. He doesn't want to fight someone that reflects his record because his record is BS. Yeah, I get it. Again, he's not a professional boxer. He's only been boxing for how many years? You should know, Phil, it was you and your La Familia that made Witherspoon take it. It was not my family, although my family might have been involved in it. There is a chance my family might have slightly been. I don't know if they were into the boxing racket or not, but I know they were into some rackets, so they may have. Jason, can't wait for Eagles, Detroit Lions, NFC Championship game in Detroit. I'm coming out. You better put me up. If it's in Philly, I got a spare bedroom here. We're going to do live shows together, me and you, Eagles, Detroit Lions, NFC Championship game. Cannot wait, Jason, for that right there. What kid of car? Yeah. What? What kind of car? Oh, what kind of car? Gotcha. There are, might be, is what I meant. Okay, gotcha. Guys, the typos, man. 60-year-old Tyson, 58-year-old Tyson. Let's not add him up. Let's not put him 2 more years yet, okay? What's up, Kyle? Good morning to you. Go Birds. Eagles pull away late, 38-27. I've seen a few score predictions like this, 10, 11 points, that the Eagles get a late score and go up big. I could say it. Tutty, shout out, K1. My dad got ticks from Dickie Knowles, Tim Witherspoon, Reggie Wilkes, Dave Cash because he lives near us. That's some pretty high level people that he rolled around with right there. A dot. Yeah, don't look like Tim Witherspoon got a lot of money or anything like that. 28 ounces? What? I don't understand that there. 23-20 Eagles win is what Trinidad say. Okay, so you're not actually predicting the Eagles to lose. You're just predicting them not to cover. That makes a little bit more sense there. Love me a 20 OZ. What? I don't know what's going on here. Same can be said for the Commanders. What? That the Commanders could win 23-20. Okay. 28-20 is your prediction, Duck. All right. I can see that too. It's crazy because sometimes I'm like really firmly, for and against you guys, like on your predictions. Like every prediction I see today, I could see a path to it. It's okay, Phil. I used to run numbers when I was younger, playing the stereotype. Look, were you the guy that I almost got into a beef with? No, you would have been too young to be him. I had a guy, and me and that guy had a falling out, and he told me, "quote What are you gonna do? Call the cops on me?" And I guess I lost then. I lost the argument right then and there. But we can talk off the air. My family might have had a few of this or that. I don't know what's going on with this 28 ounces. Like, I don't understand. I'm lost. I must have missed something somewhere. If you start with the Stiefel crime syndicate, well, it wasn't the Stiefel crime syndicate. It was the Calabrese. This game won't be won by a touchdown. I don't see it. I don't see it either. But, I say that a team is going to have a chance to win it with 2 minutes left. The way the game is won by a touchdown or more is, those situations where it's 27-24. Eagles are winning. Washington's driving. Quinion Mitchell gets his first interception. He runs it back for a touchdown. And all of a sudden, the Eagles win 34-24. Those are the kind of things I can see happening late in the game. I can also see the Eagles losing by 10 points. Similar situation. Chet is greater than 30 for 30. Absolutely. What do you hate more, Jake Paul, Kyle Lowry? Kyle Lowry, for sure. Can't wait till we're 100% healthy with Maxey, George, and Embiid, and Nick Nurse goes out there and rolls Kyle Lowry out there in the starting lineup because you can't have two short guards, but then put out Kyle Lowry. I can see a dogfight, drag out kind of game. Jose, I 100% agree, but it doesn't mean it can't end late on an extra touchdown, on an interception or something like that to stretch it out. My dad ran a state Datsun on 17 and Pass Young, and then a state Datsun and the Dodge at the Auto Mall. I don't remember the car. Probably okay, so we're talking about the kind of car it was. Gotcha. Now I'm starting to pick up on it. I don't know cars well enough to know those numbers and letters and stuff. I don't even see an interception in this game, and it's crazy because I'm typing this as soon as you said interception. Well, Jaden Daniels does not throw a lot of interceptions. He's only got 2 on the season, I believe. Washington does not turn it over often. The Eagles have gotten better at creating turnovers. We'll see. I don't know if the turnover battle really matters too much tonight because I don't see too many turnovers either. I was the king of collecting the fat tan envelope. I know what you mean by that, and that's bad. Yeah, there won't be interceptions this game. Maybe a fumble, though, because a lot of running. There will be a lot of running in this game by both sides of the team, by both teams. Whose run defense is up to par the most? They've got a solid run. Well, they got a terrible run defense, and we got a great one. Yeah, forget about it. Forget about it. 17. I'm not from the city, so I don't know these street intersections as well. I'm from Delco. Can you imagine if Q gets his first interception? Dude, could you imagine that? All these bad quarterbacks he's been facing, and he gets his first pick against the prohibitive favorite to win Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, or whatever. This would be the night on Thursday Night Football. So like 4 people actually will say it even. I'm sorry. I hate Thursday Night Football, guys. I can't stress enough how much I hate that it's Thursday Night Football. I got to stay up till 11 o'clock tonight or later because I got to watch the game, and then I got to set up tomorrow's show. I got to get my ass up at 6:30 in the morning to talk to you guys again. Then I got to work a 12-hour day at the pizza shop tomorrow. I hate Thursday Night Football. It is just so not conducive to my sleep schedule and my lifestyle. So the NFL and Roger Goodell should do anything in their power to just change it, just solely for me. I'm sure I'm not the only person, but I really hate it. I really, truly hate Thursday Night Football. I can't get over it. I can't stop it. Quit one. Thanks for your support there. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're in such great support of me, and my true feeling of how much I hate Thursday Night Football. I'm glad you're so on board with me there. All right. It makes me feel so much better about myself now. As long as Phil keeps earning, we will do fine. Well, I ain't earning nothing right now. Thursday Night Football has only had a 3 for what I would call good games. This game might be one of them. Obviously, the Baltimore-Cincinnati game turned into a great game. But this clearly, at least in recent memory, is the best Thursday Night Football game they've had in a long time. This is the business you have chosen. The business chose me. I didn't choose the business. Make your Thursday pizzas and stop bitching. I got so much work to do at the pizza shop today. I ain't gonna lie. I got a fundraiser. I got to prep 325 small pizzas that have to be made up by 3 o'clock this afternoon for a fundraiser. I'm literally going to go crazy today. I'm going to have literally no energy left for the game. Phil is committed. I'm about to get committed. Phil is an earner. That what keeps him in the family. And I don't want to hear about none of the recession. It's a Sopranos line. When the captains blame the recession on the light envelopes. If the Patriots make the Super Bowl, I'll order 10 pizzas from Phil's shop. Yeah, well, I ain't delivering them. You can order them on DoorDash. But the Patriots aren't making the Super Bowl. So, Jake Paul or Nick Sirianni? Nick Sirianni. You know, I saw people talking about it yesterday. We've come so far from the hate of literally 5 weeks ago. Oh, Nick Sirianni. Although there probably still are Eagles fans out there that wouldn't mind Nick Sirianni getting fired still, even if we won a Super Bowl. But we stayed the course. We held on strong with Nick Sirianni. And here we are in week 11, 7-2, with a chance to take a game-and-a-half lead in the NFC East. The highest winning percentage of coaches in the NFL right now. You know, it's funny, and I brought it up earlier in the week, and I'm going to bring it up again. When was the statement, winning is the main thing? When did we lose track of that? And Nick Sirianni wins. He just does. If you put a hundo on Pat's Super Bowl, you might be like, yeah, you might. You might lose $100 too. If I win the lottery on Bang Phil's, I will sell it to you in a heartbeat. Then I could do more shows. Anyone else feeling the NBA is magnifying its special ref treatment this year, or is Maxey just paying the size penalty? Combination of both. Phil will be my juice box guy. What? Sunday, it hits, or the seniority penalty. A little bit of all that, Nooms, for sure. And there isn't even a plaque or a signpost or statue of Phil. No. I'm nowhere to be found. You probably ask 100 people in Kent Square, and they don't even know who I am. It's okay. I'm only famous in your guys' eyes and my own eyes, and that's about it. I'm from North Philly, and I didn't like hang out in South Philly. That neighborhood is haunted by the spirit of Bruno versus Scarfo. Yeah. Oh, boy, guys. Guys, you're watching Trade in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. For those that are just tuning in, that are on the YouTube page, there's quite a few people watching on YouTube right now. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done. And if you've done all that, please hit the share button. We're doing final preview and prediction of Eagles Commanders tonight on Thursday Night Football, guys. I greatly appreciate those likes, shares, subscribes, all of that. Please do that for me. And we'll continue rolling on right now. Jake Paul for the Phillies. What? Is this all you do for a living? Coming up with this person or that person? Seriously. I'll take the Phillies. I will. Sure, why wouldn't I? Look, I know I'm not trying to say I'm a Jake Paul fan. I just appreciate the work put in. I thought Bernie Siegel exercised those demons. Maybe, I don't know. The vision of Bruno is brutal. We're getting off track here, guys. We're getting off track. You know, all week long, K1, all you said is, we're talking all this when the Eagles are in first places on the line. Here we are trying to talk Eagles, and you're getting me off the sidetrack again. North Philly accent versus South Philly accent might be the most cursed debate. Jake Paul. Oh, that's I'll take Jake Paul. Can we get Jake Paul his next match to be against Daryl Morey? That would be must-see TV. 100%. Jake Paul sticking that jab on Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey probably wouldn't have his camp working like Tim Witherspoon to stop the jab like he did at Larry Holmes. See, I was paying attention to that interview on how he prepared to fight Larry Holmes. But I'll take Jake Paul over Daryl Morey any day. You all sound so bad. What? Whatever. Jake Paul's bigger a-hole, hands down. Look, he is. But man, respect for the Paul family. They literally do nothing and make a crap ton of money. And I got nothing but love for it. Brian Burns makes no impact. Okay? What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about right now? Nothing. I think the confidence at a high level for the Eagles, therefore, not as much of a therapeutic need. All week long, I was pushing off Eagles talk. Here we are on Eagles talk, and nobody wants to talk Eagles. I can't win with the general chat. With the regulars, I can't win in the conversation with the regulars. That's why I need more likes and more shares and more subscribers, get more people to find the show. So when I don't want to talk about what you guys talk about, there's 50 other people talking about other things. That's what I need. Not sure if your entire roster do you give mega contracts to Edge. What? Phil, how you rate Philly Edge situation? Improving is what the Edge situation is for the Eagles. I haven't even looked at this. Have we gotten what's his sack situation? He's been sacked 20 times. Mariota once. They've given up 21 sacks this year. Not bad, Washington. Not great, not bad. So you might be able to get some pressure on Jaden Daniels. Obviously, Jalen Hunt being a part of this defensive system now is going to start getting unlocked. That's good. Obviously, Josh Sweat's having an improved season. Brandon Graham still a little bit. Nolan Smith is improving. You got Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean getting at the quarterback. You've got slot corner blitzes happening. I think as a whole, the pressure from the Eagles front is getting better and better. Somebody brought it up earlier in the week. Milton Williams is having a really good season. We haven't seen a lot of Jordan Davis, but Moro Ojomo is a very good pass rushing interior lineman so far. I would love, absolutely love, to see the Eagles roll out Jalen Carter a few plays tonight on the outside. Maybe not this week. Maybe with somebody as quick as Jane Daniels, you don't want him out there to try to chase him down. But I would absolutely love to see Jalen Carter line up on the outside on a passing down with Ojomo and Milton Williams on the inside. A line of Sweat, Carter, Williams, and Ojomo with your linebackers. Something to consider. I will give you my picks when we get closer to the end of the show, which is still a little ways away. Beanie leaned to rep about gangsters. What? We're talking gangsters again. Are we sure Philly people aren't just British people? Well, all Americans. Well, no, not really. No, we are not. Commies are serious contention for the division in the playoffs this year, so you don't turn your back on those guys. You never turn your back on anybody. But, yes, I agree with you on that. The Eagles could lose this game tonight. I'm just mentally preparing y'all. They could lose this game tonight. Don't think they will. I'm not going to predict that they will, but they could. You are just groupies of mine. You don't actually, you probably don't even know who the Eagles are. For a quick second, I thought made chatter. It said Edge of Philly. What? How you rate the city? It's just because Edge of Philly is still stuck in the back of your head, right? Isn't that what it is, Mitch? There are two kinds of Philly accents: the ones that sound like a fake British person, and the mobsters that will put your feet in cinder blocks. Well, yeah, yeah. You're all just fans of me. And why? I have no idea. Y'all must be in mental institutions if you like me. You're thinking about the main line accent, yeah. There are more than two accents, but you can tell they are from Philly. Look, I will tell you one thing about the Philly accent. I don't know what a Philly accent is. I'm not sure that Philadelphians have an accent, but when I went to work on a cruise ship, instantly I learned Philly has an accent. I had no idea we had an accent until I was around people from all over the world, and everyone's like, oh, you're from Philadelphia. I'm like, oh, shit. Didn't even realize that. There's an easy way to settle this. All Philly citizens in the chat, how do you pronounce your R's? R. Which one of y'all sound like you belong in a Wawa's? What? I'm going to be zoned in on the D-line. I always am. I've seen what Dan Quinn organizes. He can solve an offense, no question. Yes, it is concerning, but I think our defense requires a few months to solve. This is real talent. Look, Dan Quinn's got the Eagles or the Commanders playing disciplined football. He's turned the discipline of the Commanders around like that. He's made them from the Daniel Snyder laughing stock of the league, Josh Harrison, Dan Snyder, like that. Have the Commanders playing good. They lucked into a great quarterback as well. I live in Buffalo by Duff's. What? I don't know what Duff's is. Washington, Barbara, what's up? Good morning to you. Washington will probably make the playoffs because the NFL is so bad these days, but they won't beat the Eagles. Not worried. I'm oddly not worried, Barb. Oddly. But I do see a path. Well, I do see multiple paths and outcomes to the game tonight. I just do. Phil, you found me out. I've been using AI to ask Paul questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're all just AI figments of my imagination right now, right? It's water. It's water. I mean, why wouldn't it be water? Why not? I'm a code switcher and can sound like I'm from anywhere. Is that what you are? I thought New Yorkers ain't have an accent either until I went to exactly. You don't know you got an accent till you travel somewhere else, and you're like, shit, I got an accent. That is exactly 100% true, Trinidad. Phil, you're a smart guy. Do you hear anyone else call water? Well, I only live in the Philadelphia area, so we don't pronounce our R's, nor do we pronounce our G's in words ending in like parking, and parking and running and yeah, exactly. That's true. Jaden Daniels was 17-34 for 200 yards versus Pittsburgh. I ain't scared. You're not scared of Jaden Daniels? Look, there has been a blueprint, K1, on how to beat the Commanders. The Ravens, the Steelers, hell, even the Bucks in week 1. Even the Bears, in a losing effort, gave you a blueprint on how to beat the Washington Commanders. It is out there. You could do it. Duck always gets it. Duck always gets it. I was in class once. I got water and was called up to the chalkboard. What? Phil said parking, not parking. It's parking. It is what it is. What do you want me to say? I kept on being called out when I was traveling consultant using water. Now I sound so white saying water. It just doesn't even sound right saying water. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't flow off the tongue. The Steelers have a good defense, and the Commanders still found a way to score. Yeah. It was a knockdown, drag-out battle. I'd argue the Steelers have one of the best defenses in the NFL. All right, let me give me a second. Let's get back to this game here real quick. Last week against the Steelers, if we're going to focus in on it. First and foremost, the Steelers had to score late in the game. That's right, the Mike Williams touchdown catch to take the lead with a little over 2 minutes to go. The Bucs scored in the game. Yeah, they had 202 passing yards, Jaden Daniels. They didn't run the ball effectively at all, 60 rushing yards only for the Commanders. But the Pittsburgh Steelers ran 43 times for 140 yards. Russell Wilson did just enough to survive. Their defense stacked him 3 times, stacked Jaden Daniels. Holy shit, Jeremy Chin is on the Commanders secondary. It's been I can't believe he's still out there. When I visited a friend in Boston, I ordered a cheesesteak, and they gave me a regular piece of steak in between 2. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Working on a cruise ship, Barbara, and it's cheesesteak day in the crew mess. I'm like, oh, yay. I get like sliced steak with some peppers and onions on a ciabatta bread or something like that. Like, this ain't no Philly cheesesteak. Let me in that kitchen. They wouldn't let me in the kitchen, though. Not at all. I love when you go anywhere outside of Philly and they try to sell you a cheesesteak, and it ain't a cheesesteak. Everybody wants to capitalize on the word Philly cheesesteak, except they don't want to actually learn what a Philly cheesesteak is. And that's upsetting. And that's frustrating. But it is what it is. All right, guys, we're coming up to the top of the hour here. Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network, guys. We are final Eagles, Commanders, preview, predictions. I think I've covered most of my notes here on the game. Oh, side note. Well, 2 side notes. One I touched on. The other one we haven't really covered much. But Zach Ertz will be the team captain. Really weird. I was listening to Press Box Radio last night, and they had a Commanders podcaster on there, and Washington doesn't have set captains. They pick captains every week. And Zach Ertz is going to be one of the captains this week. Zach Ertz is going to be at midfield for the coin flip. It's just a weird thing going on tonight with that. And I didn't feel weird watching Zach Ertz with the Cardinals play football. But watching him play football for the Commanders just feels icky to me. So, yeah, I agree. Steelers are living a solid defense and an average offense, even with Wilson. Yeah. I've never said Wooder in my entire life, probably because my parents took me out of the city. I never lived in the city. It's a Delco thing. My Philly accent comes out when I'm relaxed and not some conscious people will judge me. The accent has heavy street feeling to it. Gotcha. The ultimate test is how do you say, did you eat? Did you eat? How else do you say it? Is there a certain way to say, did you eat? I don't know. If you order cheesesteak here, you're getting a chopped cheese and you're going to like it. Yeah. Whiz Wit. I honestly think Whiz is a little overrated. I prefer American. Chopped in, American, extra American. Yeah. I have weird taste with my cheesesteaks. It's even worse when they call it a steak and cheese. Mostly American thing. Yeah. If they use the word Philly in front of a cheesesteak, it's not spot on accurate on that one right there. Geez. Jeet, yet. No goo. What? Don't even know what that is. Other than Philly, South Jersey, and Delaware, will you get a decent cheesesteak? There was a Philly spot in Seattle that had a good one. And there was a place when I was working on cruise ships down in Key West. And when we were in Key West for Christmas last year, we looked for it. I couldn't find it. It was this little hole in the wall, one of the side streets off of Duval Street. They had old clippings from the Inquirer hanging on the wall. They got Amoroso rolls shipped in, and they made authentic. It was a retired guy from Philly living in Key West making cheesesteaks. All he had on his menu were cheesesteaks and Yingling beer, and that was it. That was it. That was his entire menu, and it was banging. I would get them, couple them, bring them on the ship, and hand them out to my coworkers on the ship, and it was a little taste when you're traveling for 18 straight months and you're not home. It's a little taste of home for me for the couple months I was stopping in Key West. Yeah, Boys to Men. Is Boys to Men Philly still? Hey, Al, you're correct there. Why when I see Al's name on the screen, I think it's AI. Want to piss off your Philly citizens? Tell them Rocky sucks and say you want a cheesesteak with no cheese sauce. Well, Rocky does suck. I think Rocky is up there with the overused things at Philly sports games. I could never see that again. I'd be happy. I sound really Philly when I'm tired or angry. So I'm yelling at the TV watching the Eagles. I'm so South Philly. It's maddening. Did you eat G? Oh, I didn't know that one. I've never heard that one before. I'll be honest with you. Are you getting hungry? I am kind of getting hungry now. Well, Mailata back. You think that it gives the Eagles more options for Barkley's run game? Yeah. I mean, the run game's been fine even without Mailata out there. But Jordan Mailata being out there, it's a big deal. It also helps Jose in the tush-push game. Notice we've been struggling in the tush-push game in the last 4 or 5 weeks without Jordan Mailata out there. So Jordan Mailata is going to make, and this, again, it's not a knock on Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson's done adequately filling in for him. But Jordan Mailata is an all-pro left tackle, one of the best left tackles in football. It's going to make a massive difference. A massive difference in the running game, in the pass blocking, which has struggled. I mean, Fred Johnson gave up 4 pressures, 2 sacks last week. It's very, very important to have Jordan Mailata back out there tonight. It is. And slide under the radar. So I already mentioned the one weird off-the-wall topic. Zach Ertz, team captain for Washington tonight. The Eagles are retiring Vinny Curry tonight. Do you guys have Vinny Curry memories? Like, my favorite Vinny Curry memory is him showing up ringside, the WWE Raws when he was in Philly. Big wrestling fan. Vinny Curry was a good pass rusher. Not a great football player, but a good pass rusher. And he's retiring as an Eagle tonight. New Yorkers do the water thing, too. We pronounce it, Ayo, how much for the water? The water. Wata. That's my New York. The water. First off, Philly people don't get whiz unless you have been away from the city for a long time. Exactly. Provolone American. I prefer American. I could do a Cooper. The Cooper Sharp is kind of the new thing that everybody loves right now. Not a big Pepper Jack fan. It's okay. Thick Philly accents. Right. 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 It's just right. It's just right. It's pretty simple. In my opinion, it's pretty simple and basic. I don't think there's anything there. Chopped cheese is greater than cheesesteak. What the hell is a chopped cheese? I don't even know what a chopped cheese is. The Commanders are watching film of Barkley doing no-look curls over tacklers, and they are terrified. Yeah, look. I think it's pretty clear as day. I've said it before. I'll say it again. 30, 37, and 43. And I guess you could even throw the 33 in the Bears game. They're the amount of rushes that the winning teams and the one close game against the Bears times they ran the ball against Washington. Washington is, again, I'll repeat it again, the 28th ranked rush defense in the NFL, giving up almost 150 rushing yards a game. It is without a doubt imperative that the Eagles establish the run game early and often. That is how you win tonight. Ouch equals EO. It is a massive. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the program, Marshawn. Welcome to the chat. We're all over the place now. First 45 minutes were dead hard Eagles talk. But now we're all over the place in the chat. But yes, massive game. And dare I say, must-win football game for the Eagles tonight. Chopped cheese, basically hamburger patties, grilled, chopped up, put in a hero bread or roll with lettuce, tomatoes, mayo, ketchup. It actually sounds pretty good. Same, but different. Chopped cheese is good in the morning for a hangover and like to stave off a hangover. Okay. It's a burger turned into a sandwich. There actually was a place down the street from where I used to live that made like a cheeseburger sub, but they would chop the burger up and it was freaking banging all the time. So I guess that's what it was. Onions. Yeah, you got to put some onions. I do like bacon with it, absolutely. Now I'm really getting hungry now. Chopped cheeses are now overrated because the hipster darling are stupid expensive for what it is now. Yeah. Jarrett McCain or Jalen Hurts. Stop, Mitchie. You want me to say your name? I'm going to say it, Mitchie Poo. Jarrett McCain. Rookie of the year odds going up through the roof. It's a shame he's got Nick Nurse as a head coach. Jalen Hurts trending upwards. I had a shawarma pizza over the weekend. What is shawarma? I mean, I know what shawarma is, but what is it? Like, I think shawarma is something that I can actually say that, and it makes sense. I know what it is, but what is it? I've never had shawarma before. Your take on a cheesesteak. Well, you're psychos if that's what you're doing for a cheesesteak. Be honored New York copied something from your... now we're going to say Trash City? Yeah, never say that. That's taking it too far. Shawarma is amazing is what it is. It's something I've never had before, shawarma. There ain't no place around me to get shawarma that I know of. I would try it, though, but I don't know what it is. I have a place around me that does Indian pizza, which are just so good. Indian pizza. And I used to be an Indian food fan. There's just not many good Indian food restaurants. When I worked in high school at a pizza shop, one of the workers that worked there would always, he was from India. He would always bring in homemade Indian food. I just like the curry and the naan and dipping. I'm a dipper. So the curry sauce and the naan was always a big deal to me. Give it a try. Done. There's a place here that puts oxtail on pizza. That's too fancy for me. What happened to the Skip Bayless segment? Well, I don't have a new graphic. I've never made or updated the graphic. So you just get rants whenever it happens. Jalen Hurts and Daniels, total rushing 45.5. Total rushing combined or each are set at that number, Jose? Because I can see Jalen Hurts having about 20 to 30 yards rushing. Daniels is going to try to have about 25, 30 yards rushing. So, yeah, that's where I see it. But we'll see. I'm not really sure on that. Here, a place here that makes weed-infused pizza pies. I've heard of places like that. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. In the sense of I don't like weed-infused anything. I'll just take my weed. I don't want it in my food. I don't even like cookies or brownies like that. I'm a dips man. If the Eagles lose, we need to buy Phil a shawarma pizza. Sure. If the Eagles lose, you got to buy my pizza shop. How about that? Toronto, Doc. Oh, up in Toronto. That's right. Forgot about that. This is the smallest big game that I can remember. I'm just not hyped a bit. You know, it's funny you say that you're not hyped because my man Jim Archicano, my realtor, my friend, he sent me a message last night saying this exact same thing. He just does not feel the hype nooms for the game tonight. He doesn't think the fans are feeling the hype, and he doesn't feel like the city is hyped up enough for how important of a game it truly is. So I think it's crazy that you bring this up on the show when I was just having this conversation last night. And I really think it's not hyped because it's Thursday Night Football. And it's so hard to get hyped on Thursday Night Football when everyone's still got to work tomorrow. Each 45.5 yards, I'll take the under on each of them. I will. The Eagles' rush defense is very good. And the Eagles' rush offense will be featuring Saquon Barkley. So I'll take the under. I'll say Barkley or Hurts gets somewhere about 30 to 35 yards. And I'll say Daniel stays under 42. They have frozen microwave chopped cheese sandwiches at gas stations. It sounds disgusting. Score often is the key to victory. Do you foresee then, Marshawn? Like I was writing down all my score predictions, and I'm settling around like 27 points for the Eagles. But I kept writing down 31 for the Eagles in different predictions. I really do think the Eagles could put up some points tonight. Even though Washington's defense, I was looking at the wrong one, is 11th in points per game. Yeah, maybe. Kid lives in Ohio. Not very good pizza or cheesesteaks, but Cincinnati chili kicks ass. I make a mean chili when I make it at the pizza shop. Every city's got something that they're known for. And thanks for tuning in this morning. Duck, I really get American cheese every once. I usually get American cheese every once in a while. Swiss might be, no offense, Barbara. Swiss cheese may be the worst cheese ever created by man. I hate Swiss cheese. I really do. For anything. I love that there was a Jamaican place used to make oxtail pizza on a large tortilla. So good. I love good Jamaican cooking. I love some jerk seasoning. I love it. Still one of the greatest days of my life was when I was in Jamaica on cruise ships. And we were just cutting through a neighborhood trying to get somewhere. And there was this barbecue in Jamaica. And they just saw us. I'm like, yeah, you want to come over and have a beer with us? And I just randomly, some random Jamaican family invited me and my buddy into their backyard and gave us food right off their grill. And just small talked with us. It was amazing. It was great. Hot take, especially for a New Yorker. The best guys of pizza is a Sicilian. I don't know. Got to be in the mood for that. Give Delta 9 cannabis water. It's phenomenal. See, I had cannabis like canned drinks, but not water. I just didn't like it. At least the ones I tried, I didn't like. Especially a corner slice. I like the middle slice on a Sicilian. Swiss, I haven't had that yet. I don't do Swiss cheese anything. I can't stand Swiss cheese. It's awful. Thursday Night Football always ends in a blowout. Yeah, but how often is first place in the division on the line, Marshawn? I'm incredibly hyped up for this game. I run a bat in South Jersey, and the hype level has been through the roof all week with our crowd. Not sure. Look, I'm just telling you what I'm feeling from the people I interact with, Rick, on a regular basis on social media on the show. People aren't hyped as they should. They're hyped. It's an Eagles game. Everybody's always hyped for an Eagles game, but they're not hyped to the level of Washington Eagles, first place in the division, on the line, week 11, so much at stake. That's what I'm getting at with it. It doesn't have the hype level to match the importance of the game from what I'm feeling from fans. Marshawn is calling for a shootout. Barbara says 31-13. Wow. Barb, do you really think the Eagles can win that big? I would love to see it. I don't know. That'd be great. I'd be able to call it a night early. Marshawn's a savant. Pizza without. When was the last close game on Thursday night? Well, I mean, wasn't the Ravens-Bengals game a close game and a shootout a couple of weeks ago? Skyline chili is crab. I hate Cincinnati chili because it's weak sauce, heavy on ketchup, and effing pasta. I've never had it, so I don't know. Someone brought up rain in the forecast during the game yesterday. Is that true? Well, I was checking my weather forecast today to see how warm it was going to be. And I know in Coatesville, where I am right now, there is a 30, well, at kickoff, there's in Coates. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Damn it. Let me pull this back up. I believe it said 60% chance of rain in Coatesville at 8 o'clock. 60% chance from 8 and 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 70%. So in Coatesville, there's about a 60, 70% chance of rain tonight. So that will play a factor as well. So just for that, I'm going to put this on your pork roll, egg, and cheese. No. That's got to be disgusting, just sounding those two things together. I don't know what it is about Swiss cheese. I just never liked it. You know, I love a good Reuben sandwich, but I got to sub out the Swiss cheese every single time. I was told it's the best thing ever, and when I was out there on business, I had some and couldn't even get it down. Why do you say the word especially as especially? Look, pick apart how I pronounce things. Go for it. Be my guest. I ain't perfect. Phil must have a traumatic episode related to Swiss cheese or Switzerland in general. I hate the Swiss. Weak country. Thursday Night Football is like. I'm just gonna cut off that comment right there. So same reason some say axe instead of ask. It's just the accent. 23-20 Eagles win from Trinidad. Oh, he did. Thursday football last week, 35-34. Exactly. Close game. So the Ravens game was last week. Swiss on pork roll sounds so good. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. What the F is a pork roll, egg, and cheese? It's bacon, egg, and cheese, or sauce. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to know what pork roll is. Trust me. A Reuben without Swift is like a BLT with no tomato. I just can't get down Swiss cheese, man. Can't do it. I like white cheddar on pizza. Alarm. I like different types of cheese on my pizza as well. I won't lie. Rain in Coatesville. Power's going out for the game. Probably. Do you live in Coatesville, or do you just know what I said yesterday? Literally, I farted yesterday morning, and the power went out in Coatesville for like 3 hours. Mitch has this ending in a 69. Yeah, probably. Nooms is feeling it this morning. I love it. Scrapple. I hate it. Is it Scrapple or Scrabble? So I accidentally say Scrabble all the time when I'm talking about Scrapple. Pork rolls and Scrabble. I just said it. Really a regional thing. Yeah, absolutely it is. Got to get stuff done. Yeah, so do I. Jose. But here I am instead. Padre Phil stays till the end. For 28-17, I like it. Go Birds. Sounds like a New Jersey thing. Yep, thumbs up. Donald Trump will be at the game tonight. He has made an executive order for the DJ to play the YMCA when the Commanders score. What? Oh, my goodness gracious. Great show, as always, Phil. Hey, I appreciate you, Rick. Love you, my man. 28-24. Really close. I have that written down as one of my predictions. I'm going to go a little closer than that, but I do feel it. I like it. I love a good tomato pie. I make a nice tomato pie at my shop. And I had one of my Sicilian shells kind of broke. So I had to just do it. So I just made myself a tomato pie, and it was a huge tomato pie. And over 2 days, I ate that whole damn thing. Wait, what is Scrapple? Don't even ask. Always get Scrapple. No, stop. No. Scrapple from the Apple is a Charlie Parker tune. What? I don't even know what that is. Wild Boar Scrapple is game changing. Google it. You don't want to know. 33-23. We got such a wide range of predictions on the scores. Blowouts, close games. The one common is almost everybody thinks the Eagles are going to win this game. Almost that to an extent scares me a little bit. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, because you're new in town. What the F is a tomato pie? Are you serious? Tomato pie is just a cheese. Basically, the nuts and bolts of it is it's a pizza with no cheese. Extra sauce. Now, you got to doctor up the sauce if you're doing it right. With some extra seasonings and stuff. I like to put a little extra garlic and basil. Mix a little Parmesan cheese in there. Yes, I said a cheeseless pizza, but Parm cheese is a little different. And you always put it on a Sicilian pizza. So it's a Sicilian pizza with no cheese, a little extra seasoned. It's great. Fantastic. Charlie Parker, I'm disappointed. No, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't. Maybe I've heard of him. I'm just not thinking about him. Everything in the pig except for the oink, except for the meat. Daniels might get injured tonight. I mean, no offense, I hope not. I don't want anybody getting hurt. I once went to a Philadelphia Stars game. They beat the Denver Gold 6-3. I hope this ain't one of those games. That would be brutal if that was the case. That would be brutal. I don't eat that shit, Trinidad, just so you know. Are you going live for the game tonight? Nah, I can't go live tonight. Dude, I'm exhausted, man. You want me to go live again? How many times a day do I got to go live for you people? I got stuff to do, my man. I do. So it's a ceiling with a thick Sunday gravy and no cheese. I think that's a fair way to describe it. Tomato pie is a chunky sauce. I don't do it with chunky sauce. I just do it with a little extra zest in the sauce. Next thing you know, you'll say you love chitlins. I don't hate them. Phil, do you use Parmesan cheese on your tomato pie? Well, I do two different things. So I do a tomato pie with the Eagles logo in it, the Eagles tomato pie, and that has got loads of Parmesan cheese in the middle of it to make the shape of the Eagles logo. But if you just call and say get me a tomato pie, I would just dust it with a little bit of Parm cheese, a little bit of extra basil, a little bit of garlic, and literally like almost double the amount of sauce. Really loaded up with tomato sauce. I love the Stars so much. Phil. Really? Yeah, I was too young for that. Some of you guys are older than me. Yeah. I like a little sprinkle of the Parmesan cheese just to give it a little extra flavor. So, yeah. All right, I think it's time for me to get to my prediction. Phil, one kind of pizza pie for the rest of your life. What are you choosing? Not just style pizza? Not counting the toppings or anything like that. If we're just talking basic style, I'm just going with a traditional Italian New York style pizza for the rest of my life. As long as I can mix up the toppings, that's what I'll go with. Because it's traditional, it's easy to eat. You could fill yourself up on it. It could be a light snack. You know, you could go many different ways with it. So I would go the New York traditional style forever. I don't know. I don't have the ability to make those. See, the thing is, like, I don't have the printer. There's a certain kind of printer to make them, the graphics for them. I ordered it off of Etsy, the Eagles one, and it took me like 3 weeks and $20 to get it. So I can't just get them like that. But if I bought a Cricut or Cricut machine, I can make them, but I'm not dropping $500 for that. Counting toppings and styles. Oh, I'm a cheese pizza guy. If it's only one thing forever, it would be a cheese pizza. I like to do sausage, bacon, banana, peppers, onions. I like all different kinds of toppings on my pizza. So it's hard to pick one. So if I can only eat one thing for the rest of my life, it'll be a New York style, Italian style cheese pizza. Yeah, thin slice. I do like a good thin slice. Duck, you know the good food, same as me. That's what I'm talking about. We got the best pizza pie. Everyone knows it except Chicago. Mamma mia. When did Drexel become a Big Five team? Well, I was a one-year Drexel student way back in the day. My sister's a Drexel graduate. My dad was a Drexel graduate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get into college basketball too much. Can you make a pizza with wheat flour? I don't. I do a gluten-free pizza. Never really had too many requests for wheat pizza, or I would have it. A lot of sauce on the tomato pie. Definitely a lot of sauce on the tomato pie. Stop. Are we 12? Scotty's Duke Blue Devils are playing. Hold on. Screenshotting this. Gotta screenshot this for Scotty. There, it's off to the side. I'm going to send that to myself after the show. And then I'm going to send that to Scotty so he knows you're calling him out on my show. How to do it. Yeah, well, my freshman year at Drexel was his senior year at Drexel. I played him in a game of pickup basketball, Duck. Were you at Drexel then, too? Did we go to school together? Man, we might have crossed paths at Drexel in the gym at one point. We might have played in the same pickup game against him. The Drexel Dragons, though. I hated Drexel. Chicago was a casserole, not a pizza. Yeah, that's true. When I was at Drexel, I really didn't go to class much. I was going through some shit. I basically spent time shooting billiards. But yeah. Chat has officially jumped the shark. Phil, you're rattling? What's the screenshot of? I was taking a screenshot of Trinidad calling out Scotty's Duke Blue Devils. That's what I was taking a screenshot of. That Scotty was making into the chat, just so you know. I was there as a sophomore when he was a freshman. Okay, so you were ahead of him. Okay, so that's right. You're a little older than me. Gotcha. Gotcha. Guys, final score prediction for the Eagles. Washington Commanders from me is 24. Sorry, said that wrong. 27-24. Eagles win. Close game. Quinion Mitchell does get his first interception tonight to seal the victory. Jahan Dotson does get his first touchdown for the Eagles tonight. Eagles get the win. Nail biter. We'll be back tomorrow to break it all down for sure. And when I stopped drinking my calories, that took me when I stopped drinking my calories, that took me from fur to cut. I'll never stop drinking. I was always taught not to be a quitter, so I'll never stop drinking. Anyway, guys, it's time to wrap this shebang up. Eagles win tonight. Biggest game of the year for the Eagles. First, the Washington Commanders. Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Over 340 comments on the show today. Gotta love that. Gotta love shows like that. Relax. I love it. Protein shake. What? I don't know. Anyway, guys, time to wrap this shebang up, guys. Please, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you've done both those things, which most of the Core 12 have, please hit that share button. Please. I got to have time to make a new graphic, man. I don't have time to make graphics. I mean, I spent time and I made the new overlay graphic that you guys liked. This took me hours to put together. I ain't a graphics expert, so it's tough. Eagles 44-24. Commanders. Wow, that's a big blowout, man. Would love to see that. Would love to see that. The Eagles symbol is ancient Rome, represents imperial power. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Anyway, guys, with that being said, it's time to wrap this shebang up. 23-20. I got 28-24 or 27-24 Eagles. Guys, can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm bigger. I wish I was bigger than you, Steel. Make a pizza with pasta on it today to sell for slices. I don't sell a lot of slices. I don't really do much of that stuff. Not much walk-by traffic in my shopping center. Yeah, I think 30-plus points is unrealistic as well, but I can see the path. With that being said, guys, everybody have a great day. Go Birds. Bubbles up to y'all.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.